Welcome to Cre8tiverse, your home of innovation, creation, and inspiration. In the last class, we designed this together. It was a step-by-step tutorial, a beginner-friendly tutorial also. We looked at the patterns, we looked at symbols, the differences between embedding and linking in Adobe Illustrator. So today we are going to be doing a 3D bottle or package design where we are going to be using these that we designed for the last class as a label on the 3D bottle. I believe you get that. I'll be explaining everything you need to understand in making a 3D bottle in your map art, and I believe it's going to be a great experience. If you haven't subscribed, please do share, like, comment. So let's dive straight into it. I'll click on File, New, 300 by 300 pixels. Everything should be left the same. Click Create. So in the last class, I walked you through the toolbox. I introduced you to the interface and all. So I believe at least you have a good hands-on experience as it concerns this interface. If you want to watch the video, the link to the video is in the description below. So we'll bring in a 3D, our Coca-Cola bottle, drop it there. Okay, so we're going to lock this. I think I want it to be bigger, probably that way. I think this manageable. So I'm going to lock this layer. Don't forget, I'm going to lock this layer. So the next thing, I'm going to bring in my rulers. It's very necessary. I put it there. So we're good to go. So I believe in the last class I introduced you to the pen tool. P for the pen tool, if you have forgotten. I remember I did that. So we're going to outline this bottle, but just follow me carefully. Is that all right? So I'll zoom in, just in case you don't know. When I hold my Alt, my middle mouse button, scroll and zoom in and out. My space bar with the left mouse button and panning. I think that's all you need. So I'm going to click here. I'll try to be not as much as it should, but it's just a tutorial, just for you to get the idea. So I believe you should know how to do this, at least using the pen tool for this. Fine. Now this instruction is very important. Now, because we're going to be mapping our label on this part of the bottle, make sure that in using the pen tool, this part is straight. I repeat, make sure it's straight. Once it's not straight, you'll not be able to get this particular section when we are going to be applying our label, talking about the map art. You will understand later. So to get this straight, I'm going to hold my shift. You can see it's already straight, and click here. Then for the rest parts, I can play around with everything and I'm good to go. So let's move on and cause. I will not be too exact, but just for you to get the idea. That is the most important thing. Click there, and I click my V, and I'm good to go. So I have this now. So what next? Next, now we do is to give this a feel and a stroke. Reason being that there are different ways to go about this though, but I'm going to be using the Pathfinder. Some use the scissors, some use the knife tool. C for the scissors tool there, and you have the knife there. I'm going to be using the Pathfinder, and it's worthy of note that the Pathfinder doesn't act on stroke. Like, what I mean is, if I was to have something like this only, that's something like this there, right? So the Pathfinder does not act on stroke only, so we're going to also add a feel. So right now, this is very important to note. Now observe that we want to make something like this, right? So just imagine that this Coke bottle doesn't have the label, we're going to be having three parts. We're going to be having the cover, this place that is having that's kind of transparent, and then this part of the object from here to here where we have the Coca-Cola liquid, if that makes sense. So we're going to divide this into three. So we're going to click this, I'll hold my sheet and drag through, hold my sheet and drag through. I can move this to be sure it's in the right position. Move this to be sure it's in the right position. I think that's good. Don't forget, I'm using the line segment tool. The line segment tool there. Okay, I think the shortcut is okay. I can't say the shortcut clearly, but let's just move on so you get the idea. So when I'm done with this, I'm going to select all, get to my Pathfinder. I'm going to click the divide. Right now that I've done this, I'm going to click A, direct selection. Now I can click all of this, right? Don't forget, it's still a branding process. We are doing this for let's say a brand, only two digital cartoon, but I edited it a little bit. Reason being that since it's more of a bottle, like we're working on a bottle, so let it be only 2 energy drink, if that makes sense. So so we're going to scale this. I'm holding my shifts. Yeah, don't worry, I'm just doing this to be able to I drop certain colors I might need, and yeah, so I think I'm done with this for now. Let's make it small enough. Yeah, so let's keep this here for now. Is that okay? So I want this cover. Okay, let me use my A. Now understand that when I use my move tool, which is a V, it's telling me that it's grouped, right? But for the direct selection tool, which is my A, I can pick this A, and I want to make sure there's consistency in the branding. So the cover should be green. I want to assume that, still back to my direct selection tool, which is this place here. I want to assume that for this package design, the drink is, let's say, kind of dark. I love it being dark, like, I don't know, maybe color of the Coke, something like that should do. Let's see. Yeah, I think I love this. Then for this part, back to my direct selection tool, I would love it to mimic this color here. Sorry, I think I made a mistake. Direct selection, yeah, I can pick this. So that's the difference. When you click your selection tool, when you click it, everything selects, which is not what we want. We want to be able to select this individual component. I hope that makes sense. So I'll click this. All right, click my eye for direct for the eyedropper, or look at the tool here. I will look for a nice ash. I think I love this. Let's let it be bright a little bit. Okay, I think that's okay. Next thing we'll do, don't forget this part of the Coca-Cola bottle is transparent. So because of that, we are going to reduce the opacity to 40. Yeah. So I think for this, or at this stage, we are done with the Coca-Cola bottle. We're going to close it. So for the sake of this design, I'm going to introduce you to the Revolve. We're going to use the Revolve actually, but there are two ways, or there are two Revolves here: effects, 3D materials. We have the Revolve, which is a new Revolve. If you're using old versions of the Adobe Illustrator, let's say 2020, 2019 downwards, you'll be having this Revolve Classic. I'm going to be using both so that you can see the difference, but I'm going to be using the Revolve Classic, so take note. So because of that, I'm going to be duplicating this. Is that okay? So I'll duplicate this and keep somewhere here. So let's just use this for now. So I think we are good to go, but before then, Don't forget, we're going to be applying this as a label, and for that to work it has to be a pattern or a symbol rather. Yeah, it has to be a symbol. Sorry for that. It has to be a symbol. So I'll click link. Look at it here. If you look at it here, it's linked. That's what this icon means. I will embed images. So right now I can delete this. Is it a symbol yet? Okay, I'll drag it here. Make sure it's a graphic symbol. I'm going to call this let's say label, and we are good to go. So at this point I don't need this again. Okay, so this is where the magic happens. So I click this and move on to my effect 3D and materials, and I will click my Revolve. Let's see. Okay, I clicked the new Revolve, which is this, but this is not what I want to do. So let's move this aside for now. So this is the recent version of Revolve. Let's bring this here. I'm going to use the old Revolve, which is 3D and materials, not this. Take note, that's for recent versions. I'm going to use this 3D classic Revolve. Look at the difference. Wow, can you see the difference? You observe that this transparency was maintained. Even the depth or the tint of this color, of the color that I picked earlier, this is a darker shade. Sorry, yeah, the shade, this is a darker shade. So we're going to map. Okay, let's go on to this. Before we map using our label, we are going to find our favorite spots. Now let me explain. If you're not having this session like this, that means you made a mistake. And what was the mistake? The mistake you made was that you must have maybe made a curve somewhere. So when there are many curves, what happens is that you tend to have many sections, but for the parts that you have a straight line, that will be a section. So because there was a straight line from here to here, you can see we're having a section there. That was why I stressed that you should use what? A straight line. Okay, when we're drawing our bottle. So we're going to use our label here. So we have this now. Let's reposition it. Yeah, it's good enough, unless we want to distort it a little bit. Okay, let's do this together. I think I'm good, kind of good. So shade artwork, right? We shade artwork. So we are good to go. We click OK. That's that. Any other thing? Plastic shading. Okay. More option. The blend step we use 100. I think that should be all. We are good to go, and we click OK. I think it's okay. So this is what we have. So if you observe, we use our label Onie 2 energy drink. That's that. But if you observe, when we use the new one, funny enough, when we use the new 3D in materials, you'll observe that this Revolve here. Let's see. To access the effect applied on this bottles, come to your appearance panel. If you don't have the appearance panel, don't forget, from your windows you can access them, find it, and you're good to go. So I'll check. Make sure it's clicked. Good. Now if you observe, I found it difficult I'm not able to add this label from this point, right? So if you observe, we just have our basic materials. If you're into 3D modeling, like maybe use Blender, 3ds Max, Maya, I think you should understand this more. But let me just explain this in context so that you get the idea. Is that okay? So I'm going to bring this last one here and keep this here. I'm going to apply the Revolve. Yeah, this. So I'm going to apply this effects. Now you see that it's as good as a material. Okay, there's a problem. All right, now you get the idea. So these are materials that you can apply, right? You can apply different materials, and I think that's just that for that. I think I made a mistake there. Oh, sorry. Yeah, there's a lot you can still do with the. Yeah, there's a lot you can still do with the recent version or the recent Revolve, like what I did mistakenly there. But let's just keep it simple. Okay, so that's what we have there. All right. So just to finish up, so draw a shape across. Fine. So right click, arrange, send to back. Fine. So we have this. I want this to be okay. I think my laptop is lagging already. Okay. So what I want to do is that I want to, let's say, let me bring this here. Fine. I just want to I wanted to just sample that color there. So we have this, so I might just change it to a shade. I don't know, this is something like that. Anyways, yeah, something like this. And so that is the final work. So yeah, I think that's what we have. Actually 3D package design sometimes it stresses the RAM. All right, so this is the final output. So we're going to export. So to export, we come to file, save as. All right, this is the final output. So you cannot differentiate between this and this. So let's save the work file, export as. Yeah, please, when you are using the export as, make sure you use shade or click use artboards. I wanted to present this with exports, and we are good to go. So let's see our final outputs. We have that here. All right, thanks for sticking around. This is the final output of our 3D artwork. The middle one there was the one that we made using our label from the first class. On the left, we used the Revolve, but the Revolve we used was the recent Revolve in the Adobe Illustrator. And I would advise you, if you want to use the map art, use a 3D classic. And on the right there, we decided to play around with the materials present from the material library of the 3D Revolve. So thanks once again. If you got value from this video, please subscribe, like, share, turn on notification, as I'll be posting videos like this time to time. So once again, welcome to Cre8tiverse, your home of innovation, creation and inspiration. Thank you.